Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. He's Mike Brenner. We are the odds couple. It is Wednesday afternoon, April 5th, and we're talking with Joe Gavazzi from JoeGavazziSports.com about some baseball games that go tomorrow on Thursday. Joe's given some great advice already on the KC game. Now we're going to talk about Pittsburgh and Boston, and of course, Pittsburgh. Some interesting stuff. It seems like it's all based on McCutchen, and after one game, McCutchen not looking very good. Mike Brenner. We don't know.
Strikeouts.
Now we got Eduardo Rodriguez who's starting tomorrow, and Rodriguez, of course, a big live arm, a lot of talent. He had some issues with tipping his pitches, which may or may not be solved. He had a decent spring, and the same thing on the other side with Chad Kuhl for Pittsburgh. So, as expected, Boston a pretty big favorite here. The first line I'm seeing is Boston minus 165. What's your take on this game, Mike?
I guess I think the pitching situation isn't what I'm really looking at. I think the bats will win out in the end, because I think Pittsburgh, they were in a bad rut last year. They couldn't really get it straightened out in any consistent form, and I don't think they figured it out over the spring. I like the bats in Boston that'll justify the line in my mind. I kind of feel like jumping Joe Gavazzi, probably going to be on the same, but you never know with him. He might bait and hook us.
Yeah, that's the way I'm feeling. Starting pitching does look two young guys with potential. Looks like it's going to be roughly a wash. Big favorite line for Boston here. Joe Gavazzi, what's your take on this one?
We're turning this one into an underdog with one of my proprietary run line underdog plays. In the earlier video with Minnesota, I urged you to go to Joe Gavazzi Sports and read the OPS article. Now I'm going to urge you go to JoeGavazziSports.com and read my article on run line betting. Since 2010, I have logged every game in Major League Baseball by hand, home and away, and by margin of victory. The results have been stunning, particularly for some teams over the course of those 7 years. And we can use those to transform teams from big money line favorites into run line underdogs. Such will be the case today. Looking at those OPS numbers, we find that Boston was the top hitting team in Major League Baseball last year, and with the number 7 pitching team. They're again primed to be one of the top teams in baseball this year. Pittsburgh, after 3 great years of appearing in the playoffs where they averaged 95 wins, remember they hadn't been to the playoffs in 20 years, have fallen flat on their face last year, and I expect more this year. As you guys pointed out, the pitching was spotty last year, and with young starters dotting the rotation, I expect more of the same. And then there are problems with the Kutch. Kutch had clear problems last year, has been moved to right field, a little bit of an ego bust there, and came out of the gate 0-4. Doesn't look good again this year. All in all, Pittsburgh was an underachieving team last year, but now I expect them to go right on the line makers' expectations of only 78 wins, a losing team this year for Pittsburgh, based on their lack of ability at the plate and the spotty starters. Well, how does that translate to the run line? If you look at Pittsburgh on the road last year, they had 41 losses. 32 of those were by 2 or more runs. Wow. Meanwhile, Boston, over the last 7 years, has won 75% or more of their home wins by 2 or more runs, including 39 of 47 last year, well over the mark of 75%. Just to let you guys know about this, 70% of games in Major League Baseball are decided by 2 or more runs, 65 to 66% at home, 74 to 75% on the road. Last year, it was interesting that 68 to 69% of the games for home teams were decided by 2 or more runs, another factor in favor of the Boston Red Sox in this game. I like Boston with the pitching. Boston has clearly the better hitting, and we're going to play it on the run line because we have the best of both. Take back the 35 cents or so and get yourself a nice underdog winner with the Bo Sox.
All right, right now I'm seeing the run line at plus 130. You know, kind of a standard play makes sense to me. Mike Brenner, he's right, like in Boston at the run line, plus 130.
Yeah, and again, I always feel good when I'm on the same side as Joe. I think I just think the bats are going to play out. But I got a question, all right, because Nava, she helps put things together over there. Joe, for 7 freaking years, all right, you logged every single baseball game by hand. You owe that young lady a vacation, for crying out loud.
And it may be coming soon, but don't tell her. I want to surprise her.
All right, Joe Gavazzi from JoeGavazziSports.com. Give a plug for what you do over there.
It is JoeGavazziSports.com, and you can read both those articles we've spoken about, the OPS numbers and my proprietary run line handicapping by simply clicking on articles. We don't need your name. We don't need any information about you. It's all free by clicking on articles at joegavazzisports.com.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Always a pleasure.
Well, this episode of The Odds Couple is over. But if you give us a like and click SBR's logo at the bottom of the screen to subscribe, then you'll get all the upcoming videos as soon as they come out. And don't forget to take advantage of our website. There's free picks, live betting lines, and sportsbook reviews and ratings guides, and a whole lot more. Check it out now.